What's up, y'all? Y'all know I had to come give you all the update, the recap from Colts preseason week 1, as well as Colts training camp week 3. Now, there really wasn't a lot from training camp. That's just because they didn't do a lot this week. It was a 3-day week pretty much, and it's game week. So they didn't really do a lot. But the biggest news coming out of training camp was that, of course, Jonathan Taylor wasn't there because he had the excused absences, and then that Anthony Richardson was going to be starting week 1 of preseason. And while we're talking about Anthony Richardson, let's talk about that preseason game. Now, he bounced back big after that interception that he had on his third pass of the game. He bounced back really big. It seems like he has a little rapport with Isaiah McKenzie because he threw to him about 2 times, to start off that series. But he threw that interception, throwing to Isaiah McKenzie on the corner blitz or the nickel blitz. And he kind of just sailed the pass. Now, there's a little bit of a miscommunication there, but he still has to throw a better ball as well. But after that, he bounced back, short-term memory, and just kept going and trying to do what he needed to do to get those reps in and make some good decisions, make some good throws. And he made some really good ones. He made some. There was one to Kylan Granson across the middle, maybe like 10 yards down the 10 yards down the field, and he threw it between 2 defenders to Kylan Granson. Then there was another one he threw to Alec Pierce that Alec Pierce dropped in the end zone. But it was a dime, like maybe like 34 to 40 yards down the field. And Alec Pierce came down with it, but as soon as he didn't survive the ground. The catch rules. You got to survive the ground. Now, the DB was draped on him, but again, you got to catch that. If you're a NFL receiver, and I know he's not the first one to drop a pass like that, but you gotta concentrate and you gotta catch those. You gotta come down with those. Those are money balls right there. That's how you get your money. That's where you get your money at. So he got to catch those, and I'm pretty sure he's been hard on himself about it, and he's gonna get it right during the season. Now, Anthony Richardson, man, when he misses high. There's a couple he threw to Michael Pittman Jr. There was one that he came down with, but there was another one where he threw and it just sailed out of bounds. So he has to learn how to bring the ball down a little bit and get it right in range for the receiver. But other than that, I think he had a very productive day. He was solid. He was solid for his first NFL action. I believe he was very solid. Now, the offensive line, right guard still needs to be addressed. I understand they believe in Will Fries or whatever, but I do not think Will Fries is the answer for our right guard position. And now Braden Smith wasn't playing right tackle. They had Blake Freeland out there. So maybe that changes a little bit when Braden Smith comes back, but it just didn't look like Will Fries was just the answer to right guard. Everything else looked solid. The left side of the line looked pretty good. Ryan Kelly looked pretty good. It was just really that right side that didn't look good. And then that second unit was absolutely horrible. Like my boy Shai said, they should be banned in at least 50 states or 48 states. Emil Ikior, his second snap, he gave up a sack. Blake Freeland gave up a sack. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad with that second unit. Besides, I believe it's the left tackle Hambright. I want to say that's his name. I could be wrong there, but he was solid. And with the second unit, he was very solid. But other than that, it was really not a really good showing from that second unit of the offensive line. Now, as far as our defense goes, man, I think we need to add more to that linebacker room because outside of Grant Stewart, Zaire Franklin, and Shaquille Leonard, I don't really know if these linebackers have it. And I understand everybody wants EJ Speed to step into that role, but I just don't know. Like the instincts for the rest of the linebackers aren't there. You can see the instincts with Shaq. You can see the instincts with Zaire. And Grant Stewart, he shows flashes where he trusts his instincts and he just goes. And and when he does that, good things happen. Now, one thing I do want to see more is that our defensive line keep our linebackers clean, because there's a lot of times that the offensive line for the Bills were able to get up to the second unit, get to those linebackers, and our linebackers couldn't really shed those blocks like I would like them to. I think maybe more reps, and and they'll get better at that. But I just didn't see it yesterday. But I want them to be able to keep them clean, so that way our linebackers can just shoot the gap in the run game and get the stop, whether it's in the backfield at the line of scrimmage or even maybe like 2 or 3 yards downfield. I would be okay with that. But I do like the depth that we have at defensive line, and I do like some of the young guys like Titus Leo. I see what they really like in that guy or in that kid. So I'm excited to see him throughout the season. What else? Our corners, our corners are very young and inexperienced. So I think with more experience, they start getting a lot better. Darrell Baker Jr., he was fine. He looked good out there. Darius Rush had a pick 6. He looked good out there. Jalen Jones, he looked pretty good out there as well. Daryl Baker, he only got limited snaps, so like they didn't really. I think they threw one pass his way, and it was almost an interception. It was on a 3rd and 3. But Julius Brents, he still has some work. He still has some stuff to work on. Juju, getting in and out of breaks when receivers break out or break in, he got to be able to stay with them. There's a couple catches, or there was a drop by Khalil Shakir where there was one, it was a dig, and he caught the ball, and Juju was there, but like he was still like maybe a yard or two behind him. Then there was an out route where Khalil Shakir ran an out route, and Juju was kind of stuck in the mud getting out of that break to break up the pass. But luckily Shakir had dropped the pass. But so I think with more reps, because Juju hasn't really practiced a lot, but with more reps, things would get better. Like I said, it's preseason week 1. So I'm expecting as we get closer to the season and we see them get these reps in games, because a lot of these dudes are very young. So these are some of their first game reps in the NFL. And I think we started seeing a lot better and consistent play from them, especially from our safeties too, because our safeties didn't look good at all. But that was mostly because we was running with 2nd and 3rd string safeties, besides maybe Nick Cross, because I don't know why they're not playing Rodney Thomas. I guess they don't really need to see anything from him because they saw him all last season. So we'll see what happens as the weeks go on, and as we get into this regular season. But it may be an exciting year for the Colts. It may be exciting. It may be down. Like, who knows? For me, I'm excited because I want to see AR's growth. I want to see this young team's growth. So I'm going to be excited. But anyway, that's all I have for you. That was my recap for this week. I'll be back next week to give you all my next recap. But until then, y'all be easy. Peace.